Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be reviewing something rather special. It's something from Target. No, just kidding, it ain't from Target. Yes. So what we're reviewing today is the Marx Medieval Castle Fort playset. I believe this is from the late 50s, maybe early 60s. I'll have to check exactly what year. I got this on eBay. Unfortunately, I do not have the original box for it, so that's why I just started with this box. But otherwise, this set's in really nice shape and it's got the original instruction manual. So let's pull this thing out and set it up. So, taking a look in here, this thing's got lots of exciting pieces. So we need to put this thing together. We got all the parts of the castle. We got lots and lots of knights and soldiers and horses and weapons in here. Wow, this stuff's exciting. Yeah. Just to give you an idea of how quality these old toys are made, the castle walls here are actually made out of metal. It's sheet metal pressed to the shape of it, but it's metal. Some bits are plastic like that. Yeah, this is plastic, but it's pretty tough plastic. Yeah, these old toys are built pretty solidly. So, let's pull some of this stuff out. Box doesn't. Alright. Oh, yeah, I got large pieces here. Oh, yeah, this is looking rather exciting, isn't it? Oh, loose pieces. Some ammo right here, which I'll show you what that's for in a moment. And I think that's it. Toss the box aside. Let's get setting this thing up. So part of how this playset goes together is that the different sheet metal sections, which were cut and stamped out, actually have these like tabs. They almost look like hooks on one section, and then the next section has these holes right here. So what you do is you actually fit the tabs. Actually, you fit them this. You fit this top one in first, then this down to here, slide it down, locks into place, and there you go. It's connected. And then, of course, all these like plastic parts, they all fit in the top right there. They just slide in. So let's get setting this thing up. Okay, so there we go. I managed to put this thing together. So yeah, there was this chain that was supposed to go on the drawbridge that I was not able to get that installed right now. So I'm going to have to leave it off for the video. So my apologies. And yeah, getting all the guys to stand up was a nightmare. In fact, some of them look like they've fallen over probably when I was trying to put the chain on. All right, so let's have a more in-depth review of this playset right here. Again, this is a beautiful playset. Just look at it right here with all the knights and soldiers and the beautiful castle. And for a vintage playset, this thing looks impressive, especially considering how simple the design really is, that it's really just like sheet metal bent into the shape of the walls, and the little figurines and some parts of the castle are really just like plastic bits. So right here we've got this guy here. He appears to be like swinging a flail weapon. That's what it looks like. And he's got like, he's actually got kind of like a visor, like a shield sort of. Not quite a visor, more like he's got like a shielded helmet. I'm trying to think of what you call that. He's got some pretty nice detail here on his armor, considering that this is just an inexpensive single piece plastic figurine. You can see like, look closely, the chainmail, the ridge detail is metal. Gloves, yeah. Detail on the back, more chainmail. His belt, boots. Yeah. This guy's actually pretty detailed, and you can even see the little non-hazardous spikes molded into the weapon. Yeah, actually, you can even see a little bit of his face in there. Yeah, this is actually pretty detailed for an inexpensive little plastic toy figurine like this. Next up, we have what appears to be like a guard or something like that. He's just standing there holding up a spear or something, like he's guarding the doorway, the entrance to the castle. Yeah, he's got a pretty, like, sort of, I guess you could say focused, but also like stern sort of expression. He's got some pretty good detail on his helmet too, with chainmail, and on his armor as well. Got his shoulder pads, gloves, belt as well, boots, and more chainmail. Yeah, and on the back, yeah, again, very nicely detailed figurine. Then we got this guy right here. This guy is like swinging his sword. He looks like he's literally just about to kill somebody, or slay somebody with his sword right there. And he's got his shield, which actually has some pretty nice molded in detail. It's not just like smooth. It's actually got like design, like a texture to it. Very nice attention to detail on these figurines again. This guy definitely looks pretty fierce if you see his face. Yeah, he definitely looks like he's just getting ready to attack. Like he's battle ready. And again, more detail on his armor, more chainmail, noticeable gloves, boots. Yeah, very detailed. And look at his sword. It's even got like an interesting design on it. Yeah, again, these guys are very detailed. Then we've got this one right here. I don't know if he's pointing at the approaching enemies and warning everybody else, or if he's pointing at one of his fellow soldiers because he's upset at him or making fun of him, pointing the blame somewhere. I don't know. Regardless, he's still pretty detailed. He actually has more of a like concerned expression, it looks like. So maybe he is actually pointing up ahead and warning them about the approaching enemies. Yeah, his shield actually has a bit of like coat of arms sort of detail, but this isn't printed. This is actually molded on. Again, very nice attention to detail. Got nice attention to detail on his armor too. Oh yeah, very detailed boots on this one. And he's got his sword in his holster right there, on his belt actually. Yeah, it's cool. He's just like carrying it on his hips because he's not using it. And he also like appears to have his visor up, like it's actually molded in there. Then we got this guy right here. This guy's just like, I don't know if he's standing or running with his sword there and his shield there. Again, this looks like it has a different pattern, but it's still got, this is all molded into there. Again, very nice attention to detail. This guy's got some like heavier duty armor, it looks like, heavier duty gear. Also has his visor up. Definitely has a, I can't tell if it's, definitely has a pretty serious, can't tell if it's angered over expression, but yeah, the face detail is pretty impressive. And yeah. Then we got this guy right here. This guy's just like, I don't know if he's standing or running with his sword there and his shield there. Again, this looks like it has a different pattern, but it's still got, this is all molded into there. Again, very nice attention to detail. This guy's got some like heavier duty armor, it looks like, heavier duty gear. Also has his visor up. Definitely has a, I can't tell if it's, definitely has a pretty serious, can't tell if it's angered over expression, but yeah, the face detail is pretty impressive. And yeah. We got this guy right here. He definitely this guy right here with his shield back there and his sword out there, he looks like he's looking at somebody, looking to decide, getting ready to like charge or like getting ready to swing. That's it. It looks like he's getting ready to swing. Again, also he's got some heavier duty looking armor right here. He's got his visor down. Yeah, this guy's definitely battle ready. And again, very, very nice attention to detail. Then we got this one right here. Also has his visor down and just has a sword on the ground. Like either he's standing his ground or he's thinking, or maybe he's getting ready to surrender. I don't know. But regardless, again, very nice attention to detail. just look at these figurines. They are just so well detailed. And the molding job is just so clean on these. These are just really well made little figurines. Now we're going to take a look at the horses and riders. One thing I find interesting about this set is that there are one, two, three, four white horses and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black horses. So yeah, unless this was supposed to come with an odd number, I would have to assume one's probably missing or an extra one was added. I did buy this set used, so I don't know if it's actually complete or not. All right, let's have a look at the different riders and horses. So we got this guy right here. Again, very nice attention to detail on his armor. This guy's this is a rider, so he's holding his shield up there with his one arm and holding this like spear with a flag with his other. And what's interesting is this actually comes out of his hand. Yeah, it just slides right out and slides right back in. And of course they made his legs spread apart so he can, you know, fit right on the horse right there in the saddle and gallop away towards battle. Next up, we've got this rider with his visor down. He looks like he's ready for a jousting tournament. He's got his lance, I think that's what it is, right here, and it actually is removable. Fits in his hand and comes right out. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, and he's posed like that right there, so that again he can fit right in the saddle on the back of the horse and charge ahead at his opponent. Last but not least, we have this guy right here. He kind of works as a rider, but he also could potentially work as a standalone. Yeah, he kind of works both standing and as a rider. This guy's pretty versatile. He's just holding a flag, so he's like a flag bearer. He's got his like dagger in his holster right there, and oops, dropped him. He's got his visor down. It looks like it's a slightly different style of helmet right there. Yeah. Got an interesting design here on his armor. Again, I'm not an expert on medieval time period, things from the medieval time period, so I may not know all the correct terms and everything. I apologize for that. He's got his flag there, and it's molded in a pretty nice pose where it looks like it's blowing in the wind, and pennant, and it's actually flexible. Yeah, it's got some flex to it, so you can actually like sort of bend it. It's springy. Again, the nice thing about these figurines is they might have gotten a little bit brittle due to them being like over 60 years old, but these are made out of PVC plastic and they're actually pretty flexible. These were meant to be pretty tough figurines, and yeah, that's one thing about Marx. They made a lot of their stuff pretty durable, and yeah, these figurines are no exception. They got flex sims that if you step on them, they can flex a bit before they break, or so that they're not just going to get destroyed from minimal play. Yeah, they're fairly nice and durable. They've lasted as long as they have. Good job, Marx. And now let's look at the horses. So we've got two different poses. But what's very interesting is that, like I said before, I don't know if this set's complete because I found two different poses of black horses, but only one of white. So I wonder if something's missing or if it was just meant to be that way. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at the contents maybe. So we got this one pose right here. This is almost looks, I can't tell if this looks a little more trotting. Might be galloping, but definitely looks to be walking slower possibly, and has this armor and his saddle on it, and this interesting like armor on its head with a horn. Yeah, again, very nice attention to detail. You can actually see the detail on the horse's, like, you know, nose and mouth, eyes, mane, fur, hooves. Yeah, it looks tail, it looks pretty detailed, but the detail on the armor is pretty impressive too. Yeah, it's pretty detailed. We got a white one here, same pose, looks like. But then we got this other black one. This one's more like a fast, like a galloping pose. Yeah, you can see the legs like This one's definitely like moving fast, I can tell. Middle battle. This one's got different armor compared to the other one. You can, if we put the two side by side, you can see they definitely look pretty different. Saddle there for the rider, and yeah, got a different head armor, but still has the interesting like horn on it. Yeah, nice and flexible, nice and robust. I would be careful with toys this old just because plastics can deteriorate over time, but yeah, relatively tough, relatively robust, relatively well made, typical for Marx. Nice attention to detail. Yeah, there's a look at the horses. We also get this cannon here, which I think is slightly not period correct. Maybe towards the very end of the Middle Ages I could see them using these, but I thought this was more of a Renaissance period invention, so might be slightly out of the time period, but still kind of a cool piece. Might fit in a little better with, like, you know, Revolutionary War, Civil War stuff. But what's cool is that we actually get a bunch of ammo to go with it, and what you do is you stick a shell down in here, and then if I don't lose this thing is actually supposed to be spring loaded. I'll just shoot it into my hand. Can't really get it to work right now. Yeah, it's supposed to actually fire it, but I'm not really getting it to work right now. And I don't really want to shoot this too far. I don't want to lose the little bullet. Shell, I mean. Sorry, shell. Yeah, these shells, these are like much too new of shells to have been in the Middle Ages. These look more like something you'd see in like World War I. Okay, this has got to be the funniest part of the whole set. Yeah, but yeah, you load this up with the ammo, then you fire it and pew, knock your guys over. And yes, it does roll too, and it's got like a hitch, I guess, for, I don't know, towing it behind something. Oh, there we go. I almost got it to work. Okay, ready? I'm just gonna fire in this box so I don't lose it. Come on. Come on, I gotta get to fire somehow. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it shot it. Where did it go? There it is. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of power. That's probably a good thing for safety reasons, but I've tried it. It's kind of hard to actually knock guys over with this. Yeah, I guess it's more of just a decoration. You also got a couple of, I could be wrong on this, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe these are supposed to be scaling ladders for attacking the castle. So what I believe they do is they'd put these over the castle walls, and then attackers could use these to, like, you know, climb over the walls and into the castle to, like, invade or raid it. Alright, so now let's turn our attention to the castle itself. Again, very nice sturdy metal walls, sturdy plastic. Yeah, the biggest thing I didn't like is that some of these wall pieces seem a little bit loose fit. Well, they actually seem tighter now, but my guess is that probably has to just do with this thing being 60 years old. I imagine it's probably been taken apart and reassembled a number of times, so it's possible that some of the tabs where they attach might have been a little bit worn or bent, so maybe they don't fit as tightly as they once did. But yeah, there's not a whole lot to actually, this doesn't look like it would break easily. I mean, it's pretty tough. But, and again, I wasn't able to put those chains on there, but again, this thing is actually quite nicely detailed. Here's an overview of the castle. So starting at the front, we've got the front gate with the drawbridge. We got this turret up here. We got these two cannons, which again might be slightly not quite period correct. Then we got these two towers on this side, these walls. We got the whole big main courtyard in here. We got two more towers back here. You got the big one here, the big, I'm trying to think of what you call that, house, I guess, at the back. And then we've got like rooms down in here. There's nothing in them, but of course you can use your imagination or add whatever you want in there. And Yeah, pretty basic layout, but again, it's actually quite large, and it still looks fairly impressive. Alright, so starting at the front, I believe this part would be called a gatehouse. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. So we've got the gate right here. This does not raise or lower, but you can actually see part of what would be look like a spiked gate in there. This drawbridge does indeed raise. It actually kind of latches into place and lowers, although you have to kind of push it from the inside. And if you look on there, there's actually some texture detailing. You can see it's got like wood on there, more wood detailing on the outside. I like the shape. You can actually see the molded in stone detailing on there, and even they went as far as putting some back in there as well. More stone detailing. Wow. On the outside, this is actually lithograph. This is printed on the metal. We got stone texture with the shadow in it. We got the barred windows and lots of like sort of ivy, shrubbery sort of trees going around the outside of it. Vines looks like. Again, very nice attention to detail for a toy this old. So on the top here, let me move these guys. You can see more stone detail up here on top here. And the crenulations, forgive me if I mispronounced that, if I butchered, that have more, actually have like stonework detail on them if you look closely. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, more texture around here. Again, very nice attention to detail. Same type of textured pattern on the walls and on the other towers. Yep, all the way around. Same level of detail. Very impressive. Now this is printed up here. We got the big tower back here. Yeah. Down here we get a close look at these extra rooms or chambers down here. Yeah, not a whole lot of space to fit your hand in this one. This one's got a little more. Again, these are kind of whatever you want them to be in your imagination, I guess. Whether you want them to be like bedrooms, throne rooms, dungeons. I guess you decide. What's really cool is that they even printed detail on the inside of the walls as well. I mean, look at that. They actually added like the ivy and shrubbery on the inside. I mean, how cool is that? More windows up here. These are like interior windows, so they're not barred. More up there. More up there. Again, more detail here on the back. So believe it or not, this is actually all flat. This is not like indented in, but I mean, just look at what they were able to do with the printing. They printed the shadow and everything here. It looks like that this big tower sticks out from these when it actually doesn't, just with the printing. We got these. I actually don't know what you call those. You let me know down in the comments if you know. You got more barred windows, but I mean, in addition to the shadow, look, we got like more crenulations up here. Yeah, like it gives you the illusion that there's this extra wall going out, and then there's this big tower, and then these two smaller ones in there. They were able to create all that illusion with just printing. Again, that's one thing I really credit Marx for, is that they were able to make their toys so detailed without actually making them complex. Like, they were able to just add a lot of detail on there by just printing it. They didn't even have to like mold it in, and that's one thing I really give them credit for. They really showed that you don't have to put a lot of money or anything in order to make a toy look impressive. Now if we look at these two cannons up here, yes, they do rotate and move, and these are spring-loaded. I think they are also supposed to fire those little shells that were provided with this set, but I'm not going to try to do that right now. And again, it's kind of funny because I don't think these things are actually period correct, but they're still kind of a fun play feature to have, you know, pew, 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 knocking down all your opponents on the ground. Well, yeah, I get the play value of it. I think that was added on there mostly just for play value. Okay, so there was a look at this vintage Marx Medieval Castle playset. Again, this is a very, very impressive playset. And it's one of those sort of timeless toys that like no matter how old it is, it's still really impressive. It's still fun to play with, and it's still durable today. I'm sorry that I probably didn't use the best terminology in terms of castles. I'm not an expert on anything medieval, but so I probably offended some of the medieval medieval period experts or historians out there. So I apologize for that. But again, if you can find one of these play sets for sale on like eBay or somewhere, I mean, they're getting kind of expensive now. I paid probably like $115, $120 for this. If you could find one of these though, I'd recommend picking it up. It's a very, very nice play set, both for play and for display. So with that, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a nice day, and God bless.